Hello and welcome back to Storytime at Nana's house. So good to have you here once again. Going to show right now. It is called Sand Sister. Are you ready? Let's read. One hot, bright summer day, Paloma's mom and dad told her, "We're going to a very special beach." Sure enough, when they got there, Paloma thought it was the most beautiful place in the whole wide world. But there was just something missing. Everyone else on the beach had brothers or sisters to play with. Paloma didn't. So instead, she found an old piece of driftwood and started drawing in the sand all by herself. She drew another little girl like her, but with curly hair. "I wish I had a sister," she said.
Do you really?
Asked a deep voice. "Who said that?" Paloma spun around. All she could see was a big old rock, and it was laughing at her.
Meet old Daddy Rock.
It chuckled.
So you want a sister?
The rock began to blow, softly at first, and then harder, until the little girl Paloma had drawn in the sand began to lift up and came to life. Paloma was amazed and excited and amazed all over again.
You can have your sister until the tide comes back in,
Said old Daddy Rock.
and you will be the only one who can see her.
Paloma looked at Daddy Rock, and where his mouth had been, there was just a line of lemon chips, and where his eyes had been, there were two fossils. Then she turned around to see her new sister smiling at her. "I'm Sandra," she said to Paloma, "but you can call me Sandy." And oh my, there have never been two little sisters who had so much fun. They built a boat of sand and played pirates. They buried each other right up to their necks. They ran after seagulls and chased each other's shadows. They went hunting for treasure in the rock pools and found a crab's shell. Then they sat quietly and watched the waves and the sun on the water and held hands without even thinking. Later on, when the two girls decided to play jump the waves, they became silly and started pushing each other. Sandy pushed just a little too much, and Paloma fell over and was soaked right through. "Why did you do that?" Paloma screamed, and she stormed up the beach before Sandy could say anything. The sisters went their separate ways. Paloma sulked and kicked at the sand. "I'm better off on my own," she muttered. Then she noticed that the tide was coming back in. Soon Sandy would disappear. "Sandy, where are you? I'm sorry," she shouted. After a few moments, Sandy jumped out from behind a rock. "I missed you too," she said with a smile on her face. Then the two girls gave each other a big, big hug. "I have to go now," said Sandy. "I will never forget you, Paloma. Here, I found this stone with a hole in it." But already Sandy was disappearing, and soon all that was left of her were the feet Paloma had drawn in the sand. Before long, a big wave came and they disappeared too. The sun dipped low in the sky. Paloma shivered. She sat down by the water's edge and looked out into all that space and sky. She felt very, very small. Soon Paloma's mom appeared with the card again. Time to go, she said. Paloma's dad knelt down beside her.
Did you meet old Daddy Croc?
He asked. Paloma remembered. She swallowed her tears and nodded. Did you know? Paloma whispered.
This beach was a special place for me when I was a boy, he said, and I had a feeling it would be special for you too.
Oh, it is, she cried. Can we come back here again? It's magic. Paloma's mom smiled. You can come and play with your sandy sister any time you like, she said. She'll always be here. And as she rode back to the car on her dad's shoulders, she curled her fingers around the stone in her pocket and smiled. And that's the end. Da, da, da. Oh my goodness. What a great imagination that she had, didn't she? I'm sure your imagination is just as wonderful. It can be lots of fun to play pretend, can't it? It's time for me to go, my friends, but before I do, I just want to encourage you to continue letting your light shine by being kind. Until next time, take care of yourself. God bless you. And always, always, always remember that this Nana right here loves you. Until next time, bye.